What's up, guys? um, Today I'm going to be doing the post-game recap for the games from yesterday. So, yeah, let's get into it. There were 10 games last night, so let's go ahead and check them out. So, the first game was Pacers and Magic. This game, the Magic. One thing I'm gonna try to start doing is at least watch the highlights of the games that I didn't watch live, to get a good understanding of how the game went. The Magic held a comfortable lead for most of this game, but the Pacers actually did make a run and make it competitive in down the stretch of the fourth quarter. So, good on them for doing that. Magic ultimately came out with the win, though. On the Pacers side of things, Buddy Hield had 21 points and 5 assists and 4 rebounds. And he actually shot pretty efficiently. He was 7 of 13 from the field and 6 of 10 from deep. So he definitely did his thing without a doubt. He definitely played very well. Miles Turner had 22 points and 13 rebounds. He actually came up. He made a lot of big shots in the fourth quarter to keep the game close. He was 7 of 16 from the field, which is a little bit below 50%, but not bad. And 3 of 6 from 3, so 50% from 3, along with 1 steal and a block. So good for him. He played pretty well. Chris Duarte had 16, 2 and 5 assists. Shot 4 of 9 from the field and 2 of 5 from 3. So yeah, he had a decent game. T.J. McConnell had 17, 3 and 8, I believe it was. Yes, and he was 8 of 8 from the field. Wow, so he was 100% from the field. That's pretty crazy. And unfortunately, he didn't shoot any threes actually. So yeah, it was perfect from the field. That's crazy. And Benedict Mathurin led the team in scoring tonight with 7 of 18 from the field with 26 points, 7 of 18 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and a block. So he actually played very well. And on the Magic side of things, Paolo Banchero had 23 points. So he led the team in scoring, 23 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. He was 6 of 14 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. So he actually played very well. Franz Wagner chipped in with 13 points. He was 5 of 11 from the field and 1 of 3 from deep. 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals. And then Wendell Carter Jr. Had 18 and 10 with 2 assists and was 7 of 10 from the field and 1 of 3 from 3, along with 2 blocks as well. So he actually played pretty decent. Honestly, this Magic team has a lot of potential. I'm really hoping to see how good this team can end up becoming with Paulo, and hopefully they just continue to draft well and build a good team around him. And then Markelle Fultz had 13 and 8 assists, and he was 5 of 8 from the field and 0 of 1 from 3. He shot only 1 shot 3. He only shot 1 3 and didn't make it. But he did have along with a rebound. He only had 1 rebound. Though that's pretty crazy. You only have 1 rebound, 8 assists, and 1 steal and a block. So pretty decent game. But Gary Harris actually was the second leading scorer. So Gary Harris is a guard from the Nuggets. He spent most of his career in Denver alongside Nikola Jokic. But he was in the deal to get Aaron Gordon. That was the trade. Sending Gary Harris to Orlando in exchange for Aaron Gordon. So, and he had 22 points, 8 of 9 from the field, and 6 of 6 from deep. So played very well, actually, very, very efficient game, and had a steal and 1 rebound. So that pretty much covers that game. Nothing too exciting, but I figured I'd check out the highlights just to see how that game went. Now the next game is Nets and 76ers. This game actually was. This game, the Sixers dominated most of this game. But the Nets actually did make a run in the fourth quarter to cut I think even tie it to tie it at one point. And Nick Claxton, Nick Claxton's been putting up some big numbers. He's 25 points and 11 rebounds. So he actually's been playing like an all-star down this stretch of games recently. So props to him, man. He was 5 of 6 from the field, he was 11 of 12 from the field, and had 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks. So he's definitely been stepping up in Durant's absence. Kyrie Irving had 30 points, which is expected, but he did have 10 assists as well. Kyrie Irving's not a guy that's normally dishing out assists like that, but he definitely did his thing against the Sixers. He was 9 of 15 from the field and 2 of 5 from 3, along with 2 rebounds, 10 assists, and 2 steals. So he had a really good game. Ben Simmons had 12, 5, and 5. At least Ben Simmons actually scored in double figures this time. And he was 5 of 7 from the field. So, at least he was, I guess you could say at least he was efficient. But I don't know. I wish Ben Simmons would just be more aggressive, but he did have a block in there. However, the player of the game goes to the player of the game for the Nets goes to Seth Curry. Seth Curry had 32 points and 4 assists. Didn't have any rebounds, though. That's weird. But he was 11 of 20 from the field and 7 of 10 from 3. So he definitely had himself a night against his former team. So he played very well. And Watanabe chipped in with 11 as well. And he shot 4 of 7 from the field and 1 of 3 from 3. Nothing too exciting there. On the Sixers side of things, Tobias Harris had 18, and he was 7 of 11 from the field. 7 and 11. 1 and 2. 1 of 2 from 3, so 50% from 3. So decent game for Tobias Harris. Joel Embiid had his typical 26 and 10, and he was 6 of 8. He was very inefficient, though. I will say that he was only 6 of 18 from the field, and 1 of 5 from 3. He did have 2 steals, though. So I guess the Nets defense really did some work with the Celtics. I have the Celtics and Knicks game on right now. I'm just kind of peeking over it, see what's going on with that. And like I said, I'll do a recap for that tomorrow. A recap for those games tomorrow. So Joel Embiid had put up the numbers, but not good efficiency. James Harden had 3 rebounds and 7 assists. So James Harden was 6 of 12 from the field and 5 of 10 from 3, so 50% in both categories. So pretty good. And 2 steals and a block. So he actually he played a pretty good game. DeAnthony Melton, who's actually been a really good player, really good role player for them. He's been shooting the ball well against the Nets, and against the Nets, he actually shot the ball well as well. 7 of 10 from the field and 3 of 6 from 3. Anthony Melton's a valuable role player on the Sixers, and I think they should definitely try to hold on to him for sure. And he did have 1 steal and 3 blocks. 3 blocks as a guard is definitely not easy to do. So props on him for that. But the player of the game for the Sixers is Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey played very well. He was 8 of 14 from the field and 6 of 9 from 3. There was actually a stretch in the game where he hit like 3 step back threes in a row. He was just unbelievable, and it was mostly when the bench of the Sixers was in there. So Joel Embiid and James Harden got to get their rest in, and Tyrese and Maxey just kind of took over for them, that's good that they have a player like that they can rely on, a young player like that they can rely on, so Harden and Embiid don't have to play so many minutes. And then Matisse Thybulle at 10 points, but we're not really going to go into that. So that's a pretty good game from both teams. Wizards and Rockets are up next, and I actually watched the highlights of this game. The Rockets had a 19-point lead on them at one point, and the Wizards came back and won this game. And props to them. Actually, there was a stretch in the game where Kyle Kuzma was hitting like 30-foot three-pointers. He hit like a bunch of them, and he was just pulling them with no hesitation whatsoever. And he was the player of the game. 33 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. He actually played very well. He was 12 of 25 from the field and 5 of 13 from 3. So not incredibly efficient from 3, but he played very well, and 2 assists and 1 steal and a block. So Kyle Kuzma definitely, like I said, Kyle Kuzma has definitely evolved since leaving the Lakers, I think. He's definitely evolved his game for sure, and I can even see him at one point if the Wizards become a winning team, which I know sounds crazy, right? If the Wizards become a winning team, somehow if they at least if they're at least in the playoff, if the runs to make a playoff spot, I could see Kyle Kuzma maybe getting some All-Star votes. So if he continues to play this good, so good for him. Bradley Beal had 17. Bradley Beal has kind of taken a step back, I've noticed. He's definitely let his other teammates shine, which is definitely something I've noticed, which is good. I think that's good for the team. That'll definitely help his teammates improve. But of course, they can rely on him to take some shots if they need him to, if they're struggling, per se. He was only 7 of 17 from the field, though, an 0 of 3 from 3. So he didn't play too well, but decent game from Beal. He was their second leading scorer, actually, with 17 points. Kendrick Nunn, I totally forgot that Kendrick Nunn is on the Wizards, and that he was in the trade for Rui Hachimura, which I believe he's supposed to play tonight, his first game for the Lakers tonight. So we'll see how that goes for him. And Denny Advia has had 10 and 10 rebounds, actually. But yeah, the main guy to talk about there was Kyle Kuzma. And then on the Rockets side of things, Alfred Şengün had a triple-double. And yes, Şengün is a center. Yeah. So you see, I talked about this in my last recap video, but the whole evolution with centers and them dishing out assists and them being the centers being the playmaker is definitely a new evolution in basketball. That's definitely I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I think it'll actually make basketball pretty entertaining. And like I said, no center in the early 2000s was dishing out assists like that, or at least being the main ball handler. Most of the time, the centers were getting assisted the ball to them for them to score. That's usually how it was back in the day. But now we just have centers, being main ball handlers and taking the ball up the court. Like, you never saw Shaq take the ball up the court. Most of the time, he would just run into the paint, and Kobe or somebody would dribble the ball up the court. You know what I mean? But now you got Nikola Jokic being the playmaker, being like, hey, everybody get down there, I'll make a play for you, or like something like that. But yeah, Alfred Şengün, their center on the Rockets, having a triple-double, 21, 11, and 10. He's definitely underrated. I think they should definitely try to build around him and maybe Jalen Green. He's played unbelievable. He definitely has the makings of a superstar, without a doubt. And against the Wizards, he was 10 of 16 from the field. And had 3 steals and 2 blocks. So he actually had himself a game, for sure. Kenyon Martin actually had 16 points and 13 rebounds. I didn't even peep this. And had 8. He was 8 of 13 from the field, with 13 rebounds, 1 assist, and a block. Pretty good game from him. Most of his buckets were assisted from Şengün, actually, from the highlights. It was actually it's pretty funny now that I mentioned that. Jalen Green had 19 points and 4 rebounds and 7 assists. And he was... So this is what I'm talking about, So I just looked at the box score, got incredibly disappointed. But when I said Jalen Green is kind of known as a shot chucker, this is what I'm talking about. 6 of 19 from the field and 2 of 8 from 3. That's not great shooting. Those are not good shooting splits at all. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I said. The last time I mentioned him in one of these recap videos, I kind of view him, me and my friend Nolan view him as a shot chucker, an inefficient shot chucker. But again, he is young. He's only 20 years old, so he might get better. He might become more efficient as he gets older, and becomes better. So, but right now he's not really. He's been horribly inefficient, horrible shooting splits from from him. But yeah. And then Jayshawn Tate had 10 points and 8 rebounds. But really, that's all there is to say about that game. The next game is the Hawks and Thunder. And this game actually was pretty close most of the game. The Hawks kept a narrow lead on the Thunder for the most part. The Thunder did make some runs to kind of tie the game and make it close, and took a couple there were a couple lead changes here and there, but the Hawks mainly had this game under control for the most part. Bogdan Bogdanovic had 20 points. A lot of guys actually scored in double figures on this team. And he was 7 of 11 from the field and 4 of 7 from 3. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and a block. So, pretty good there. John Collins chipped in with 19. John Collins had 19 points, was 7 of 12 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3. 10 rebounds and 2 assists. So he actually had himself a pretty good game. Yeah. Clint Capella had 18 and 10. Obviously, all of his buckets. He was actually 8 of 8 from the field. Didn't miss a single shot and had a steal and a block. DeJounte Murray had 21 points. And he was 9 of 19 from the field and 1 of 8 from 3. So not really too good in the shooting splits department, and only had 1 block. Yeah, sorry, I'm just kind of, since the Celtics are my favorite team, I'm kind of just trying to peep at the game and just keep up with what's going on there. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I apologize. The next game was the Nuggets and Bucks game. I did watch this game actually live for a little bit. Unfortunately, the Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray didn't play, so this was not really too much to talk about here and on the Nuggets side of things. I mean, Aaron Gordon did have 26 points, but yeah, I'm not really going to talk about anybody else other than him. And he was 10 of 24 from the field and 3 of 5 from 3 with 14 rebounds and 2 blocks and 4 assists. So he played all right, but yeah, like I said, he was like the only starter that was out there for them. On the Bucks side of things, yeah, obviously Giannis dominated with 33. I still can't believe Chris Middleton has been putting up horrible numbers. I mean, granted, he's been dealing with injuries, but Giannis obviously did his thing with 9 of 15 from the field, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists, and 3 steals. So, definitely had an MVP-like performance there. Drew Holiday had 20 points. Pat Connaughton actually had 19 and 12. I didn't even see that. But Drew Holiday was 9 of 20 from the field and 2 of 4 from 3 with 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. Decent. And Pat Connaughton was 7 of 8 from the field and 5 of 6 from 3. So, and 12 rebounds. So, and 2 assists and 2 steals. So, he had himself a game for sure. And, yeah, that pretty much covers that game. Nothing really too eventful there because the Nuggets weren't fully healthy. So, next is Timberwolves and Pelicans. I didn't really get a chance to look at this game, but from the looks of it, so the Timberwolves won this one. And the star of the show was Anthony Edwards, which it usually is, and he had 37 points on 12 of 25 from the field and 4 of 10 from 3. 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Did pretty well there. That's a pretty good game from him. That's actually a really good game from him. D'Angelo Russell had 19 points. And he was 8 of 17 from the field and 3 of 8 from 3. So actually was pretty efficient, which D'Angelo Russell's not known for being, but he was, so good for him. and he had three rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. So he played pretty well. Rudy Gobert had 17 and 12, and he was 7 of 12 from the field, and had 3 assists, 12 rebounds, 1 steal, and a block. So he kind of had like a mid game, nothing too crazy there. Kyle Anderson had 10 points, and Jaden McDaniels had 10 points, but everybody else scored in single digits. Obviously for the Pelicans, since Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson are out, C.J. McCollum led the way with 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists. Like I said, he's kind of the only one that really can do anything offensively, considering Brandon Ingram and Zion are both out. He was 9 of 17 from the field and 5 of 9 from 3, so he actually played pretty well. Jonas Valanciunas had 15 and 12, and he was 7 of 9 from the field and 1 of 2 from 3 with a block. So he played pretty well. And then Brandon Ingram did play. Sorry. Oh my God. I know you guys are going to roast me in the comments for being a casual and not really paying attention. But yeah, I didn't even realize he played. But obviously, I'm sure he's kind of, judging by the box score, he's pretty rusty. Only 13 points, 4 of 18 from the field, and 0 of 6 from 3. So he obviously was obviously a bit rusty coming off that injury. So 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 steal. And yeah, that pretty much covers that. Next game is Grizzlies and Warriors. And actually, there's actually a really, really crucial, really bad call on the ref's part. So what happened was Jordan Poole. So the Warriors won this by 2 points, right? And Jordan Poole, I guess, took a bad shot with them being up by 2 with 15 seconds left, and he took a quick shot and leaving a lot of time on the clock. And Steph Curry got mad and threw his mouthpiece threw his mouthpiece out of bounds, and the ref saw that. I guess it almost hit the ref or something like that, and I guess he thought he was mad about that. He thought he was mad at him for some reason. I don't know. And the ref ejected Steph. So that with a chance and that left the Grizzlies a chance to almost tie it or take the lead and almost win the game. So that was a very crucial thing that happened there, and that obviously could have swung the game in the Grizzlies' favor. I'm not really liking the officiating this year. I think it's been kind of weak, and I'm just not really liking the way the refs are officiating, and I don't like the way the rules are. The NBA is becoming softer and softer as the years go on, and I'm not really liking that at all. So, I'm really hoping that the officiating does get better soon, hopefully really soon. But anyways, in terms of the box score, John Morant had 29 points and 12 assists and 4 rebounds, and he was 10 of 20 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3. With 2 steals and a block. So he actually played a pretty good game himself. He led the team in scoring, obviously. Brandon Clark had 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists, 8 of 10 from the field, and had a steal in there. So he was the second leading scorer, actually, for them, and played pretty decently. And Jaren Jackson Jr. had 17 points. Sorry, I was just watching to see what was happening right now. But yeah. Jaren Jackson Jr. has 17 and 6. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the Celtics game that's on right now. They're playing the Knicks right now. Again, I'll cover this game tomorrow. Jesus Christ. Anyways, Against the Warriors, he was 4 of 11 from the field and 2 of 3 from 3. So, he wasn't really that efficient, but, whatever. And nobody else is really worth talking about in there. Steph Curry had his usual 34 points. Steph Curry went off as usual. And he was 10 of 19 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. So he definitely did his thing for sure. And he had 2 steals as well, so good for him. But yeah, Klay Thompson had 24 points, and he shot 9 of 23 from the field and 5 of 10 from 3. So he shot 50% from 3, but not really that good from the field, actually. So Klay's starting to become a really inefficient player. He's definitely not looking like himself anymore. And Jordan Poole had 21 points, and he was 8 of 14 from the field and 2 of 6 from 3. So, yeah, Klay's starting to look, I don't want to say washed, because I don't think he's washed, but I don't know. I don't know exactly how to term it. But he's starting to not really look like himself anymore. So that pretty much covers that game. The next game is Raptors-Kings. Raptors won by 20 points, or 18 points, but near 20 points. The Raptors, the one that's Siakam obviously scored 26 and 11. And it was 11 of 24 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3. Oh, sorry. Again, I apologize for me constantly looking away at the TV. Again, I'm a huge Celtics fan, so I don't like to not pay attention to the game when it's happening. You know what I mean? I greatly apologize for that. Jesus Christ, Jalen Brunson's just cooking us right now. But anyways, he got 27 points already, Jesus. And we're not even in the fourth quarter yet. But anyways, so that's that. Fred VanVleet had 17, Trent had 16. So it was a pretty evenly scoring game for the Raptors. A lot of people scored in double figures. On the Kings side, Kevin Huerter was actually their leading scorer with 21 points. And Keegan Murray had 16, Harrison Barnes had 10, De'Aaron Fox had 16, but nobody else scored in double figures. So, yeah, the Raptors dominated the Kings. Jazz and Trailblazers. I was actually wanted to kind of talk about this one. So, before we get to the Blazers side of things, on Utah side of things, Lauri Markkanen at 24 points. And he was the leader in scoring and he was 7 of 16 from the field and 3 of 6 from 3. So he actually played pretty well. Jordan Clarkson had 18 points. And he had 7 of 18 from the field and 3 of 7 from 3. So not really that efficient, but not bad either. Colin Sexton had 19 points, actually. And he was 8 of 11 from the field and 3 of 3 from 3. That's actually a surprise. Colin Sexton's not usually known for being efficient. No hate towards him, but he's usually not known for being efficient. So that's actually pretty impressive from him. But yeah. But everyone else, it's not really worth. Oh, I totally forgot the Blazers part. Damian Lillard with a fucking 60 piece. Another 60 piece for Lillard. How many 60 pieces has Lillard had in his career? He's had so many. But yeah, he's had 67 and 8 assists. Near 60 point triple double. That's actually incredible. Hold on. And he was 21 of 29 from the field, 9 of 15 from 3, along with 3 steals. What? That has to be the most efficient 60 piece I've ever seen. That's actually incredible. Wow. Jeremy Grant chipped in with 19 points, and he was 9 of 15 from the field, so he was actually really efficient. And Anthony Simons chipped in with 16, and he was 5 of 15 from the field and 2 of 8 from 3. So not really that efficient, but all right. He did all right. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, the Blazers won this game, but Jesus Christ, like, get Damian Lillard, either Blazers get Damian Lillard some help, or Damian Lillard get the fuck out of Portland. If you want to win a championship, go to another team, please. I'm tired of seeing you putting up these big numbers and it just results to almost no winning at all. It's actually kind of frustrating because I love Damian Lillard. I want to see him actually compete for a championship. And finally, we have Spurs-Lakers, which the Lakers won. Spurs had, Keldon Johnson had 25 points. Like I said, Keldon Johnson's definitely a very good player. I'm one of my favorite players on the Spurs team, and he's got a lot of potential, and he is currently showing that. He was 9 of 20 from the fields and 3 of 6 from 3, so pretty efficient, not too bad. Jeremy Shokin, the dude with the colored hair, he was 6 of 14 from the field with 14 points, so not really that efficient, but he did all right. Zach Collins had 16. Zach Collins was actually really big on the Blazers, but he's currently on San Antonio. He was 6 of 10 from the field, so yeah, and nobody else is really worth talking about. On the Lakers side of things, LeBron had 29 and 11, so a near triple-double himself. He was 8 of 20 from the field and 1 of 6 from 3. So not really that efficient, but, he definitely controlled the tempo for his team, which he usually does. He's always done that for his whole career. Patrick Beverley, though, had 18 points. Definitely didn't see this coming. What the hell? I'm not saying he's bad, but I definitely didn't see that coming. That's actually pretty impressive. He was 6 of 12 from the field and 3 of 7 from 3. So he actually really did his thing. But again, the Spurs are not a good defensive team at all. They're actually they're one of the worst teams in the league, obviously, because they're tanking. So, yeah, I'm not really too surprised by those numbers, by him putting up numbers like that on a team like the Spurs. Russell Westbrook had 14, was 7 of 15 from the field and 0 of 3 from 3. So, okay game from him. But Anthony Davis, like I said, he is back. He had 21 and 12, actually. So he definitely did he was 7 of 15 from the field and 1 of 3 from 3. So he definitely did his thing. And he had 4 blocks and 1 steal. So he's definitely, like I said, Anthony Davis is good when he's healthy. He's good when he's healthy. When he's not healthy, then, he becomes a liability to the team. That's all there is to it. Because he's a very good player. I'm not saying, I don't want people to think that I hate on Anthony Davis or that I don't think he's good. He's good. He's very good. He's one of the best. He's one of the best bigs in the league. But the problem is he just never could stay healthy, and that decreases his value on a lot of teams. So, yeah, that's why and the fact that LeBron has had to carry a lot of the times at 38 years old is kind of insane. So, yeah. But anyways, that is about it for this video. Again, I apologize for the multiple times I've looked away at the screen to see what's going on in the Celtics game. Like I said, I'll cover this game tomorrow and the other games today that are happening tonight tomorrow. So look out for that video coming tomorrow. But that pretty much covers it. So thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.